everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. My name is Kelly. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in South Central Missouri. And today we are going to work with the Changes Beautiful paper pumpkin kit that we worked with yesterday. But today we're going to do pocket scrapbooking with it. And before I go any further, if you remember from yesterday, I said I had information for you regarding the May paper pumpkin, and then I forgot to share. So I'm going to do that today. First off, so I don't forget, Celebrating in Color is going to be the name of the new paper pumpkin kit coming in May, which means you have to subscribe. I'll think of the word in a minute. You need to subscribe before May 10th if you want to get this in color box. And there will be a link for paper pumpkin down below. Now we are celebrating the new in colors that are coming into our catalog beginning in May, which is the new in colors of 2022 to 2024. Each year we bring in 5 new colors and we retire 5. And our new ones this year are very pretty. We have Starry Sky, we have Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, and Orchid Oasis. Now the Orchid Oasis and Starry Sky are very similar. Till you actually stamp with them, it's really difficult to tell, or look at the papers, it's really hard to tell the difference. But the special thing about May is all the subscribers of the May 2022 Paper Pumpkin Kit will have a chance to win a golden voucher inside their May 2022 Paper Pumpkin box. The golden voucher is worth $25 in Stampin' Up! Products of your choice. The golden voucher is your chance to expand your in-color crafting with new coordinating products in the upcoming annual catalog. These are going to be randomly. All the boxes are already pre-packed and shrink-wrapped and ready to go out in the mail. So we have no clue who will get what until you get your box. And you won't know if you have a shot at that $25 voucher unless you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. The information and the direct link for my Paper Pumpkin is in the description box down below. You're going to want to make sure to check that out. Now, to today's project. Remember yesterday we made cards. And today we're going to continue to work on this, but I'm going to do 2 sets of pocket pages. I've already put one together so I could go through the second one. And the one I put together was for Adrian. And she is my person who likes dark colors. She's not really a pink and flower girl. So I started with, and I don't have any uncut bases here. I've used them all because I cut Adrian's twice. I started with what was actually the inside of the card. Let's see if I can grab those cards really quick, and that will help tremendously. I'd have to know where I put them from yesterday first. I moved things out of the way this morning. I really did. I moved things out of the way. Oh yes, here they are. Sometimes it just takes me a minute to remember what I did with something. So let's look at what Adrian's card started out like. It was this trifold. And so this piece here is the inside panel of the card. And then I cut these 2 panels from the fancy fold. I cut them apart. And so the pocket pages are 4x6 and 3x4. And I want to use this as a photo frame. So I have this here, but I had to trim it down a little bit to make it the 4 inches deep, but it's a little shy of the 6 inch. So when you get your paper pumpkin, on the back it tells you what other coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors go with that particular kit. This one, it's Balmy Blue, Basic Black, Bermuda Bay, Crushed Curry, Evening Evergreen, Granny Apple Green, and Melon Mambo. So I chose to cut a piece of the, let's see if I've got the one cut, this one, of Bermuda Bay to slip in behind this. so that I get like a double mat on there. And that'll go just like that. And I hate to cover the front of this up, but I'm going to anyway. Actually, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that there because, and I'll explain to you in a minute where my train of thought was when I first put this together this morning. See, it's matted here and it fits the pocket beautifully with that mat, but I may want to do something, and I cannot get that in there. I may want to do something on this other side and would prefer to have this showing and incorporate it into another page. So I may not do, in which case whatever I put in here is going to cover that up. So we're going to play with that a little bit and see what I wind up doing for now. So there's one side of that. And the other thing I wanted to do, and I was thinking about this, is I want to use my dimensionals. And I thought I had left those out from yesterday. Apparently I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. They're right here. So many things going on my desk right now. Is I wanted to put this down in the corner. Yes, I'm going to put some pink on her page. She'll live with it. But I'm going to make it to where when I put this in, this has still got, in fact, I think I'm going to put this one, I'm going to pull that one up. It is just going to argue with me. I'm going to put it over here because I want to use this as a tuck spot to tuck the photo into on that page. So I can put this down here at an angle, and I could still put one underneath there, I think, and get away with it. As soon as I get it on the flower, I'm working without my cheaters today. Here we go. And then I can tuck a photo, see if I can find something small here. I can tuck a photo right in here and I can tuck it behind that flower. So that's what we're going to do with that one. Now I'm not going to do too much with these. This I can cut a smaller photo in and drop into here. This has a hair on it. Go figure. I shed, my cat sheds. And you know, Tabby didn't shed when we first got her. She has just started to shed in the last year or so, and it's as she's gotten older. I'll have to go in that pocket and get something out. But I took a piece of the envelope and cut the envelope apart. And I'm going to show you how we do that when I do Abby's album. And then I just used the back of it, and that will be my journaling spot. And then I was going to take this one here, will need something behind it, but since this is just this color here, I'm going to wait and see what I wind up doing on the back side of that page. We're going to leave it. This one again provides another photo mat. This one I'm going to pull out, and we have some of those little flower thingies here. Here we go. And I want to put a couple of those on Adrian's. And you know, I'm going to pull out my smaller pop dots, my smaller dimensionals, because I think I like them better for behind those small flowers. So let's pull a couple of these, and let's add some dimension to this one, just like that, and put our mini dimensionals on here. And you will find the links to the products that I'm using in the description box below, since all it is the dimensionals. I don't have the paper pumpkin on here, because you can't get this one anymore, but you can subscribe for the next one. So let's do that. And I thought I had another one of those card kit thingies here. I just want to make sure I've got them to do Adrian's or Abby's with. Okay, we're good. So then I'm going to come in And let's go ahead and do a big flower on that one, and I can use the bigger dimensionals for that because it's a bigger flower. Okay. And then I'm going to come back with my Wink of Stella. And I will also link this down below, and I'm just going to rough color in my flowers. The petals. Now, remember yesterday we had these little stones. Where's my pick tool? I just had it. There it is. And I'm going to use a pick tool. Actually, no. I think what I'm going to use is my matte dots. Now we have, right now in our catalog, we have the classic matte dots, which come in black, very vanilla, and basic white. But then we also have these that are going to continue to be in the catalog in May. And these are slightly larger black dots, and they are strictly just the black matte dots. And I'm going to pop them open. And you will find these in our catalog. And I'm going to pop them open, and I'm going to put one of the larger black dots right in the center of that flower. And then we have some smaller ones up here. They're perfect for inside these little flowers. Almost makes them look like sunflowers when we do that. Okay. And adds a little embellishment. And then we can slide this right into there. And that will give us Adrian's 2-page pocket layout. So we've got room for a larger photo here, a couple of smaller photos, and a journaling spot. Okay, so there's Adrian's. Now let's do Abby's. First off, let me introduce you to Abby. Abby is my little Hollywood. She loves to pose, she loves the camera. Makes sense since her dad used to do photography, I guess, but she is just my little, and she loves all things pink. So this album is going to be, this page layout is going to be for her. I remember we started out with this card with her yesterday with the caterpillar and the butterfly. And we're going to use that same sheet for her today. Let me get these out of the way. I don't want to lose track of those. Okay, so I started a basic layout for Adrian, or for Abby rather. And for hers, I decided to do the big one on the bottom of the right-hand page. So I've cut the inside of that card down. And I wanted to use the butterfly for her page tuck. See if we in spot here. So I'm going to put the dimensionals on that for her, for her page tuck. And I want to get an idea. So I want to try and leave this open. I can put one down here. I can put a couple up here. So I can work with the top and bottom right. And no, I put them on the wrong ones. I went backwards. When I flipped it over, should have paid attention. There. And then I can still do one on that bottom. And let that anchor in place. To do that. And I want to make sure I get that inside the frame of that paper because it has to go back inside that pocket. And then I'm going to come back in with my Wink of Stella. And it just adds a little shimmer to your project without creating a lot of bulk on there, okay? So we have that, and it takes just a second for that to dry. And we tuck that in there. Now, as you can see, we have bare space around here. I don't think I'm going to worry about that bare space yet till I find out what I'm putting on the other side. If I don't like what I put on this other side showing through, I can always come back and, you know what? I did that backwards, didn't I? I did that backwards. Let's see if we can fix that really quick. I put it on the wrong side. I want to put it on the pink picture because, you know, Abby, pink, they kind of go together. So let's go this way. There we go. Now we got her in there in the right spot. So, I like this on the back. Do I want to cover it up? I don't know yet. So we're going to wait and see what I decide to do. And then, let's see, what do we have going here? Nope, that's the way that was going. I was right. But I have the page going backwards. That's where I'm going wrong. There we go. So I want to start with the piece with the chrysalis up here in front. And I will wind up backing that with something. I'm going to look in a minute, probably the Bermuda Bay again. And then we want to put our caterpillar on here. So we'll get out our dimensionals and put those on our caterpillar. Just like that. Peel our papers off. And we're going to put him right on the leaf, just like we did in the card. Color him with the shimmer. Now we have some small flowers left. Let's add. I really wish they'd have given us some of the pink ones in pop dot and dimensional, and die cuts rather, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and color that pink one. And I'm going to color these because I want to be able to come back with the matte dots. And I don't want to have to try coloring around those. Okay, so then we need our small dimensionals. And go here. And we'll put those in place before we put our... Now I'm not putting them square on there. I'm kind of cattywampusing them so we get a little bit more dimension with the shadow of the other flower behind. Just like that. And then we'll come back in with our take your pick tool and pick up a couple of these little matte dots. Put those on the center of our flower. Okay. Now, we have this one. Let's go ahead. Let's put some shimmer on this chrysalis here. Especially on that green. I really want that green to shimmer. And around our pink. And so the pink will stand out and the yellow will stand out. And I do have another small yellow flower that we can put there. So we'll go ahead and do that. Do our Winka Stella. See, making sure I'm in frame here. I think I've got this down, so I think. I think I have found my workspace. And turn it like a little bit, maybe a quarter turn, so we get that. Come back in with a matte dot. And because that blue, that pink one doesn't have any dimension, I'm going to add one of the stones from our kit on there. And then this one will go up in this top corner. Now, what do we do with these other corners? That's where our envelope comes in. We're going to take and open up our envelope. Very carefully. Not that we're going to save much of it, but I don't want to tear any more of it than necessary. Okay, so then we can open that up and see that's how that happens, but we can cover those tears up. And let's see. Put our... I'm out of room over here, so not really a lot of room for the trimmer when I get up here. But at least I can see over here today. I had trouble seeing. I worked on the dining room table yesterday. Now I'm not going to throw this away. I can use that. I know. Go figure. And then let's go ahead and line that one up. And I'm just lining up that fold of the card in my track. Well, hello, fly. 'Tis the season. And then I can come back and I can come down here where I can lay it flat. See, we have that piece to work with. Now, I'm not cutting it to size until after I get the envelope cut apart. Once the envelope is cut apart, then I can come back and cut this to 4 by 6. And that's where trimming off the rough edge of that comes in handy. So where it tore a little bit, I'm not worried about it because I'm cutting it off. And then 6. It's not quite 6. It's going to be a little shy, so that's where our matting in the back is going to come in handy. But we have squares, so let's do this at 3 by 4. And it's already 4 inches, so we can cut it down to 3. And it's going to mean that we don't have quite enough for a second one, but that's okay. We'll have it in one. Let's see, where did Adrian's or Abby's other page go? So let's see if we can get this one. Oops, it's a little tight. A little tight. Oops. And a little backwards. And a little backwards. There we go. Okay. There's a pink one and a green one. And we've got the butterfly, we've got the caterpillar on hers. Let's see what happens. I'm thinking, since we've got this yellow edge over here, I'm thinking, let me cut this blue down first. We'll just cut just inside that track on that fold. And then we have the yellows over here. So let's go ahead and cut the yellows down. Okay. So we could do our journaling spot down here in this corner, so that's where our white could come in. And this one will do it. Our envelope. Okay. It's 3. I'm going to bump it up just a little bit because I want to be able to come back and clean up that edge. And it's 3 by 4. Just like that. And come back to our 3. Just like that. Okay. Whoops. I missed the trash can. And the lamp. There we go. And I know I've probably got a glare on there, don't I? Let's turn that. And that one. Wow. You guys have been dealing with a glare. Nobody told me. Okay, we wanted this one because we want the journaling down here in this corner. Okay, so we have our journaling spot. And I have a couple of ideas here. Let's take, is this going to be long enough? It is. Let's take a piece of this, of the pink, and cut it down to about 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to set this down here. I can try and put it back up. Okay, so we've got this. Let's pull our journaling card back out. Okay. And this one I'm just going to use a bit of our liquid adhesive. Oops, I can put a little bit more on there. Okay. And then just line this up. Wow. That did not come out enough, but we're going to fix that. We can fix that. Let's take our flower and put it up there at the top. So we're going to come back and we're going to do our Wink of Stella. Do a matte dot. And then I want that to glue flat in there. So I'm going to go ahead and use a spot of Tombow. And instead of putting it on the flower, I'm going to put it right here. So I know that I get it in the right spot. Okay? And I'm going to stick my silicone mat under here. So if anything oozes, it will stick. And not to my paper. Okay? And then we can set this over. Trying to separate those pockets sometimes is a trick in itself. Okay, so we have a journaling spot. And we have picture. Picture. And then we'll probably do, let's just do a piece of this and put it up at the top. And I think I want to do it with the bird showing. Oh, sorry. Do it with the bird showing. So it needs to be 3 inches by 4 inches. And I'm going to take that trim off the top. And then we have that, and then we're just going to need a piece of that, piece of this. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have any more of that envelope from Adrian's? I kind of do. Oh, I kind of do. Okay, let's cut a piece of the Bermuda Bay, and we're going to cut it 3 by 4. Okay. Trying to make sure I don't. I'm going to want that in there, but I want it to be pretty. So we're just going to do this as a block. Okay, and let's put our butterfly up on dimensionals. And I'm not tucking photos into this one. This is just going to be a pretty block. Just like that. I have got to do my nails. I'm so tired of not having fingernails to get a hold of stuff. I just can't seem to stop working long enough to actually sit down and take care of my cuticles and get nails on. And now that it's time to be working in the garden, it's not exactly a priority. Now we're going to take our Sharpie and we're going to do stitch, 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 stitch. And give him a flight trail. How's that? Oh, let's make our wing shine. Now, yes, she has 2 butterflies on here, but for a little girl who's afraid of bugs, she got so used to catching fireflies and picking up bugs in the yard and petting a disgusting bug. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the mat for those 2. And I think I'm going to cut them from this so I can cut both at the same time. So I need them six. Oh, 6. Okay. And then I'm going to have to cut one of these from here and one from that other scrap of paper because this one was on my shelf that got wet and it is warped. So this one's quite going to make it, I don't think. Yes, it will. Okay. Okay, so this one doesn't look right. This one doesn't look right. It's 3 inches by 4 inches, but it looks bigger than that one, doesn't it? It is bigger than that one. Okay. They measure the same, so we'll see. So let's go ahead and back the chrysalis. I have to say I have enjoyed getting back to doing the scrapbooking and the pocket scrapbooking again. I feel like I might actually get through stuff in my office. Okay, so we have a place for journaling. We have places for photos. And that's what I was going to do there, and I put a butterfly instead. So we'll see what happens when I put the album together, and I will show you when I do an album flip through later in the year what I came up with. In the meantime, that's it for me today. Remember, I am back here tomorrow for Budgeting Saturday or Budgeting Wednesday, where I will be closing out my February, March, and I'm going to go ahead and close out April because I don't plan on leaving the house again till the first of the year. So, or till the first of the month. Yeah, yeah, that's going to be me. I will be back here tomorrow with Budgeting Wednesday, and I have another book to tell you about. So in the meantime, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and creative blessings.